How's it going, everybody? Nicky D here, coming to you live, man. Yet again today, spoilers. We're talking about the Rings of Power season 2. Just finished it the other day. I wanted to wait a few days. I want to simmer, right? I want to soak it in like a sponge and just kind of absorb what I can, and then talk about it later. Yeah, so we're gonna spoil it. I just kind of want to talk about the finale though, and then the season overall as a whole of where I was at. But I actually really want to focus on episode 7 a lot. And obviously episode 8 being the finale, but a lot of episode 7. So yeah, without any further ado, we're getting into it. I am going to spoil things, so you've been warned. Here we go. Okay, so I recently rewatched the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the extended edition. It was a lot of rewatching. I'm not gonna lie, man. I do like part 1. I'd do like 2 towers. I'd be like, okay, I'll start it today and I'll finish it in 2 days. And I'll get around to it because they're long. They're long. Return of the King, absolutely. Yeah, so I did those right after I finished Rings of Power season 2, and I just felt a difference, in everything I watched. I got to be honest, like I'll be straight up. I think it was a disappointment. Season 2, I didn't think season 1 was immaculate by any degree, but I think season 2 is really not that much better, if not worse. It just didn't jump out to me. So, I mean, I know there's videos that are like breaking down every scene. Like if you go watch EFAP, right? Like they break down every scene, or channels like Random Film Talk that are just like right on it, right? Like they're talking about every little detail. We're not going to do that here. It's going to be like a 6-minute video, or something like that, right? But I got to say, episode 7, again, spoilers, right? There's the big battle, the elves versus the orcs, right? The family. I don't even want to get started on the families of orcs that they showed. That was just, I was like, okay. But the whole point of that battle to me, like, I don't even know, man. It just looked not good. I was watching it, like, I'm not going to lie, I was playing a game at the same time. I was playing Guild Wars, and I'm like, got it on the other monitor, so I am watching it. But I'm not, like, watching it, if you know what I mean. But I was looking at it, and I was just like, man, nothing's making any sense to me, right? Like, the editing makes no sense. They're doing a charge on horseback, right? They're coming into the enemy line, the orcs, right? Like they're coming head on to them, and you're like, all right. And they wheel out Galadriel in a cage, right? And they're like, look, we got her. Like, we got a knife up to her throat. We got her, right? And like one guy in the front is like, stop the charge, and every horse just stops on a dime. And even that, I was just looking at it. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't feel like that's probably going to be as easy as is done, right? Like, I don't know. Like, things like that I don't get. The siege equipment I don't get. Like, the battle I don't get. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. It was really upsetting, actually, because I was really looking forward to episode 7. I thought that was going to be sick. Episode 8, like, you get the Balrog for like 2 seconds, maybe 5 minutes total, and then, yeah, like, it just closes up the mine, and they're like, yeah, we got to worry about who wants to take the throne now. And it's like, dude, you got something down there that could kill you, right? Like, maybe you got to worry about that, okay? I don't know. So that I don't understand. There's like basically like 2 actors that I think even take the show, right? Which is the Prince of the Dwarves and Sauron, right? The actor who plays him. I forget his name. Those 2 guys I think kill it. I think they do excellent with what they're given. I think they're quite good in their roles, and I'm very happy with them. I like watching those guys on screen do what they're doing. But I just don't think that the writing is there. I don't think that the story is there. It is, but it's like, I don't even know, like, you cut, I always forget his name. I just call him the Black Elf. I know it starts with an A, but they stab him, and then it's just like, oh, okay, cool, like, oh crap, like maybe he's gone, maybe he's dead, right? And next episode he's just like walking. It's just like, did I see that wrong? Because it could just be an editing thing too. But I was like, I swear to God, I saw him just get like literally stabbed, like with like a sword. I was like, all right, man, I don't know. I gotta be honest, like, I just wasn't feeling it. I want to like the show. That's the problem, because I love the Lord of the Rings, but I cannot get into that. Even the horse charge, right? When the Numenorians come in, right? And like all the orcs are like, all right, like we're in the village. It's like, are you really gonna charge into that with horseback? Like into a village? Like okay, sure, like an open field or something. It's like, all right, but like into a village, right? Like, it's not going to happen, right? Yeah, I mean, don't even get me started on the Harfoots. I mean, I could not, like, I don't care. I don't care about Nori. I don't care, about the romance plot with her friend that's kissing. I don't even know what they're called. To be honest, they're not Harfoots, but they're the guys that like live in the crater. You know what I'm talking about. You got Gandalf now. Gandalf confirmed Gandalf, and like how he gets his even name is like, oh, you're like a grand elf, like Gandalf, and they're like, Nani? It just doesn't make it doesn't add up to me, right? It doesn't add up to me. It's like, all right, like just get it out of here, right? And obviously like the Dark Wizard, which I'm pretty sure, I forget his actor name, but it's pretty sure it's the guy who plays Mance Rayder in Game of Thrones. Like that's gonna be Saruman, right? That's gonna be the White Wizard. Like it's like, all right, because it's just 100%. You know where that's gonna go, right? You know where that's gonna go. I don't know, man. I gotta be honest. Like I felt like it was like almost like House of the Dragon. Like I don't feel like there was a big payoff. There wasn't like a big like, oh snap, like I can't wait. Like it just didn't happen. To compare, like you'd go like Game of Thrones, right? You'd look at like a previous season. Now, granted, a lot of the time the big episode wasn't the finale in Game of Thrones. It was actually one or two behind, right? Like if you think about like the Red Wedding, it wasn't the finale, right? There was more after it, but it set up like what was going to go down. And I just don't feel like we had something like that, where it was like, wow, I can't believe that's happened, right? And now I cannot wait for the next season. If you watch Demon Slayer, right? Like that was kind of more of a cliffhanger ending. But if you watch the training arc, the season that just ended, and you watch like the last episode, that's a pretty big cliffhanger that you're like, oh snap, right? Like something's like it's going down. And again, like that's the idea. Like they set up what's going to happen, and now you can anticipate what's going to happen. Where I feel like, it's off topic again, but I mean like House of Dragon kind of did that in season 1 and then just didn't capitalize on it at all. Like we're like, oh, okay, it's going down, and then it's like it didn't go down, and you're like, all right, well, maybe it'll go down again, like in the next season. So I don't know, man. I think that's all I got. I just wanted to kind of say like my overall thoughts on the season. It was only, I guess I only did light spoilers, but just talk about the battle and stuff like that, and whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's so much you could nitpick and talk about that I'm not here to do that. I did that once though for Game of Thrones. I think I did like a 45 to an hour video where I just ranted on the entire season, and yeah, it wasn't a good time. I actually thought about rewatching the Star Wars trilogy and Game of Thrones season 8 and probably 7 as well, and then getting a fresh perspective many years later and ranting on them. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.